Good afternoon, everyone. This is Professor Hill's short video for our class, Introduction to Ethics Philosophy 2306 here at St. Philip's College for the spring of 2025. And we finished our assignments on Sunday night. Yesterday, I graded most of them, but not all of them. Sorry about that. I still had a few to get through. I graded about 200 yesterday, but I couldn't get to the end. So I'm going to finish those today. Sorry about the delay for the folks that didn't get their assignments graded. Anyway, like I said, today is Tuesday, the 4th of February, 2025. And we're looking at this week, Chapter 2 in our textbook, Doing Ethics by Lewis Vaughn. And we're looking ahead to this next weekend, Sunday night, when we have our next case study that's going to be due. But the first thing we do is read Chapter 2, because we got to make sure to bring over some of the concepts from this chapter and apply them to the case study. That's the thing, which is the biggest problem we had this last Sunday night, 2 days ago, was that people, they kind of read the story about Jenny Lake, which is a moving, terrible, tragic story, and then kind of responded to it and, jumped right in. But you got to slow down, because in your essay, you have to bring over the key core concepts from the chapter and apply them to the case study. That's where people lost points for not doing that. So this next time around, and again, the first time I thought, hey, look, it's the first essay. We're still getting used to this pattern. Read a chapter, Sunday night, the essay. So I took off points, but not that many points. This time around, everybody should know better. So let's make sure that you read Chapter 2 and you apply this thinking. Now, again, I want you to apply the thinking to you. Don't try to, this happens a little bit with the case study. People think, oh, I'm going to apply the concepts from the chapter to the people in the case study. No, don't do that. I want you to think and reflect upon your own moral, ethical thinking. Use these principles to describe you, yourself, your thinking. So as you'll see in the chapter, which is called emotivism, it's called subjectivism, relativism, and emotivism, those three things. That's important. The title of the chapter is these three things. And I want you to kind of think about, do these apply to me and my thinking in this case study? The reason I mention this is, hey, guess what? The very first page of the chapter 2, describes four things. The one that's not mentioned is objectivism. I mean, it's not in the title, but it's the first thing he starts talking about. So the title of the chapter probably should have been Objectivism, Subjectivism, Relativism, and Emotivism. So it should have been four things. So ask yourself, why is it that the title has three things, but even the first page has four things? There's a reason for that. The short version is that he kind of introduces objectivism, tells you what it is, and then when you get to the chapter, you start reading it. He has one sentence about it later in the chapter where he says, basically, that's the right one. The whole chapter is him kind of tearing down subjectivism, relativism, and emotivism. Because what he does is he just tells you, these are the things that are wrong with these three things. And he doesn't do that for objectivism. That's why it's not in the title, because it's the chapter is about what's the, if you were doing a list of pros and cons, it's like, here are all the cons. Here are all the things that are wrong with these three things. So that's the chapter is about tearing down these three things. And for the one that he mentions at the beginning, objectivism, he doesn't do that. He doesn't give you pros or cons. He just says, that's the right one. So pay attention to that as you read the chapter. And then think to yourself, is that the right one? Does that really apply to me and my thinking? Maybe it's more, as you're going to see, it is more complicated than that. So anyway, we're going to look at these concepts, all four. And when we get to the case study, end of the week, and you're thinking about your essay, that's when we need to think, what describes me and my thinking on this case study? Okay? I'll talk some more about the case study later, but for now, Just want to make sure we're on the same page about that. So read the chapter 2, and get familiar with the 4 things he's talking about. And then we'll talk some more, and I'll do some more tomorrow on the case study, which is a true story. Once again, it's something which splits the class and divides people because it's controversial and difficult and does not, again, have a happy ending. Sorry about that. Yeah, you see a theme developing already, right? All right. So look, right now, we're at the beginning of the week. Read chapter 2, and then we'll get to the case study. Then we'll get to our essays. We'll get this sorted out. In the meantime, I'll finish the ones from Sunday night and make sure everybody is caught up in terms of the grading. All right. Take care. I will talk to you good people soon. Take care. Bye-bye.